Okay. The question is, how are differing American identities being put together in a sweatshop romance, A White Heron and the Wife of His Youth? In The White Heron, Sylvie is a young girl. The heron is also white. The color white usually signifies a sense of purity. We can see the differences in men and women as well. Sylvie loves nature and the forest, and I think feels a connection with it and the animals. The hunter sees the animals in the forest as a fun sport, which results in class being a theme as well. Sylvie lives with her grandmother in the country, and her friends are the animals, the cow, the heron, maybe not so much her friend, but she feels that it's her friend. The hunter probably is a city man who is possibly wealthy because he can afford to give Sylvie $10 to show him where the heron is. And usually, like, the more upper class guys made hunting as a sport. They would go to the country to hunt, and in this case, he wants to add the heron to his bird collection. There's also the choices that have to be made. Sylvie has to decide, does she want to be the reason the heron dies and get $10 for her and her grandmother, or does she want to keep the heron alive and keep, I guess what would be like the innocence of the forest. In a sweatshop romance has, I think the theme would be like fear, because Haman is afraid to propose to Belle and doesn't go after her. Belle says, but why does he not come out with his declaration? And she's pretty much just kind of left wondering about his feelings for her. And then David, he has no fear at all of showing his feelings to her. And opportunity is also there in the story. Haman misses his opportunity to be with Belle and kind of allows his fear to control him from being with her. And whereas David doesn't have any fear and just takes the opportunity to be with her and ends up, with your typical kind of happily ever after type of deal. And the wife of his youth, the thing in that one is race. Mr. Ryder is a light-skinned African-American man. He's in a group called the Blue Veins, so basically your skin has to be light enough to see your veins to be in the group. He's described as a guy who's very sophisticated. He tries to fit in, he tries to fit in with the white people, but ultimately he can't because he's still black. The wife of his youth is a black lady, and I think that the story shows that sometimes you can't always get away from your past, because even though he's trying to be something else, he's still black, and he's still married a black woman. Also, the black men in the time may have posed like kind of a threat to, I guess, what would be like the purity of the white people, because the men, I think, may have been starting to kind of like form their own, I don't know, kind of identity. How, these guys are all black, but yet they don't see themselves, I think, so much as black because they're light enough that you can see, their veins just like a white person. And, being mixed, they're kind of, I don't know, it's one of those things where you're not really one, but you're not really the other either. I'm, myself, am mixed with, one half is American and the other half is Hispanic. So you're never really, I guess it's I don't know, I think it's kind of hard to be you can't just pick one. You're kind of stuck. Are you this one, or are you that one? And I think kind of that might be how he kind of felt a little bit.